So, as a small child, I thought my grandmother was a spy. She wrote in code, and she worked at this crazy loud contraption that I later learned was an Underwood typewriter. Now, when you're 4 and 5, banging away on the keyboard is a lot of fun, but you have to treat it with respect because it is a delicate machine. And, but as I got a little older, I noticed that my grandmother did write in shorthand, and that it looked very strange. It looked like some sort of secret code that she was writing messages to other spies with. But in reality, it was a skill she had learned in high school as taking secretarial classes, and to be able to keep up with what people were saying as they were saying it, which I wish I could have learned from her how to do that, because that would have made taking notes for news stories in my 10 years as a journalist so much easier. My mother always chides me for having horrible handwriting, and if you are watching this, you are probably familiar with just how awful my handwriting is. You can check on the front page of these narratives that are laying in front of the typewriter and see just how bad my handwriting is. But at one time, I had very nice and pretty handwriting, not unlike my mother's, as you can see in these stories. But it kind of ruined as I was keeping up with the rate at which people talk. Not an easy task, I have to tell you. I always carried a recorder with me as well, so that I could actually take notes on what they were doing rather than what they were saying, because I knew I would never be able to catch up with what they were saying in the first place. So that was interesting for me, of seeing her write in codes, and her handwriting was actually even nicer than my mother's, which incidentally was how I discovered that Santa Claus was not real, because Santa Claus's handwriting and his signature looked so very much like Grandma's. I was like, something's not quite right. Grandma, why did you sign for Santa? Oh well, the kid found out. But now, at 27, I still tell my mother, I believe in Santa Claus, otherwise he wouldn't bring me any presents at Christmas. So, there you go. Yes, I'm aware it's my mother, but it's so much more fun this way. We get a kick out of it. It's an inside joke, which you are now privy to. But the other thing that made me think that my grandmother was a spy was the typewriter. This crazy loud contraption, yes, but the difference is that unlike our snazzy, sleek MacBook Pros, like, this thing made noise, but also it kind of fit the description my grandfather would give me of the Enigma machines from World War II. He actually was part of the draft and was awaiting his assignment to be shipped out when he got terribly sick from the mustard gas tests that they were performing on soldiers before they went overseas. And about the same time he recovered from that, actually, it was either mustard gas seed or he got bronchitis. I'd have to check. But by the time he was well, the war was over, so he never actually went over and saw battle, but he was working operations on stateside, and later discovered about the Enigma machine. And the description he gave of what these things looked like, whether he saw them during the war or after, I'm still not sure, fit this massive typewriter. So that was why I thought my grandmother was a spy. But it was interesting because she used and Underwood, which are now kind of ubiquitous for American typewriters, whereas my mother would have typed on something much more akin to this IBM machine that you are currently watching this video on. So, yeah. I used to think my grandmother was a spy, and that was really cool.